Hello and welcome. I am here to give a presentation on activation. I just want to make sure you guys can all hear me okay. And also I'm just gonna make sure that you're going to the right place. So I'm gonna check Facebook really quick. And I think this could be streaming in a different location than it was scheduled because technology. It always seems to happen this way, as you know. So I'm just going to post the video in the comments. So if you are hopping on, hopefully you get to the right place. But I'm just going to keep going because I don't want to take up anyone's time too much tonight. So please, once you're on, if you can just let me know that you are seeing me, that would be awesome. So I'm just going to start while I'm waiting for people to hop on, because I'm sure people will let me know if they're not able to hear me okay. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about who I am and why you're listening to me today. And then I'm going to get to talk about activation as well. So my name is Jenna Dodge, and I'm a certified classical homeopath. And I live in Montana, and I have 4 kids, and I homeschool. And I work. I'm in my office right now, so that's why there's nothing on the walls behind me. Sorry about that. Need to style it still. But today I'm going to talk about why I like activation. I love activation. I use it myself, and I think it's really, really great for everybody to help them age better. So we're going to dive in today. I see some people are hopping on now. If you can just leave a comment and let me know that you can hear me okay, that would be awesome. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. So today we are going to talk about, like I said, activation for health and vitality. Okay, so how can we stay healthy? That's what we're going to talk about today. My story, I just want to elaborate a little bit on my story with activation and why I'm even talking to you today. So my friend, Cindy Maxwell, who you guys heard from a few weeks ago in this group, and you hear from all the time really, but she reached out to me a couple years ago and said, hey, have you ever heard of this Nrf2 and blah, blah, blah. And I was like super intrigued. No, I don't know about it. Tell me all about it. And what I discovered was something that I felt like, based on the science and research, everybody could use, everybody needed. We're going to dive into that a little bit today, but I want to share my story. So I'm the type of person who I just like to jump in and try things as long as they, are safe. And I jumped in, I tried the products, and I immediately within a week had a noticeable reduction in the amount of pain I was experiencing in my feet when I was running and doing lots of other things, jump roping, hiking with kids, all that sort of stuff. So I was really, really excited about that. Nothing had worked for my foot pain for years. It was excruciating. And then I had some really, really great results with my son as well. And so I just decided, let's just dive in and learn more and just share with other people, because this is so life-changing. When you hear about this, if you're brand new here, give us a hello below and tag the person who invited you here, and let's have a conversation about it. So to set the stage about why we need this crazy thing called activation, people are like, what? Activation? What the heck are you talking about? So the truth is that we are being hijacked daily. Our health is being hijacked daily. Okay, between heavy metals and pesticides in our food, even if you're buying organic, we know now that sometimes those are still contaminated. The organic strawberries are still contaminated. It's so sad. I try to grow my own, but the growing season is so short here. It's just not fair. And then, personal stress can contribute. I think my video is covering up a little bit, but relationship stress, overworking, all those types of things really do take a toll on the body. If you're trying to put out more than you're taking in, as far as stress goes, too much and not enough rest, you're going to be overstressed. And then, of course, there's environmental stress, there's pollution just in our air, in our water. And then the things we use on a daily basis, household products, cleaning products, beauty products, couches, chairs, like all of these things really do add up. And we can do our best, if you have the resources to get more environmentally friendly things, then that can go a long way, but it's so impossible basically to avoid everything. And then of course, technology. If you're watching this, you're on the internet, you're using some sort of device. And so there is evidence showing that, these EMFs, these electromagnetic frequencies, really do impact us, and they might be small individually, but they add up. So just to go into a little bit more about, the toxins that are really difficult to avoid, right? So in the air that we breathe, there's formaldehyde everywhere. There's chlorine in your shower. You can't see what that says. But those things are just you don't normally think about, chlorine. I don't breathe it, but you do when you take a shower. Studies show that in the umbilical cord that there are over almost 300, so 287 toxins, and that's probably increased since the study has been done. And many of those, over 200, are neurotoxic. So how much does that affect a baby that's developing? That is a lot. We already touched on the pesticides, but there's 1 billion pounds of pesticides used yearly. That is incredible, and some of them are not water soluble. So, or they are water soluble, so they're just going to be everywhere, right? So you're either breathing again or eating those, depending on where you live. And then I did mention the EMFs already. There's more and more studies coming out, and we do know that EMFs cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning if you have this battery next to your head, this phone next to your head, or your child's head, or you're playing with your iPad while you're pregnant, all those things are not great. So keep your phones away from your head and your kids' heads. So there are things we can do, if you are going to try to improve your health through something we call biohacking. There's things you can do that I've already mentioned some of them. You can keep your phone away from yourself. You can put it on airplane mode. You can leave it outside of your room at night. You can get EMF blockers. You can do all those things, at least most of the time, but you can't always do all those things. We do have to make phone calls. We do have to eat food sometimes that is not perfectly organic. And I think you can really drive yourself crazy trying to be perfect. And that's kind of no way to live life, because it is an unachievable goal. And for me, this is what gets me really excited about biohacking and the products in particular that we're going to talk about tonight. I'm only going to focus on 3. I chose 3 of what I think are the most important. It's hard. They're all super important, but these are the 3 great ones to begin with, or for the most people, I guess I could say. So we're going to dive into those, but what they do is they help us hack. They help us hack our biology, hack our health. It's like getting a shortcut towards health, right? But without negative consequences. It's like a good shortcut. Just like if you find a laundry hack or a cooking hack, or a hack to get your kids to sleep, better through the night, the right PJs or whatever it is. Like, that's what we all want, so we can have the best health possible. And how do we do that? We really have to get to the root of the problem. So, so the quote, you can read it, I'm sure. Health problems are like plants. You have to get to the roots in order to prevent them from popping up again. Now, if you are generally healthy, that's awesome. That is so great. A lot of times we can see some amazing and hear some amazing stories about what biohacking and activation can do for somebody, but you don't have to have a story like that in order to benefit, right? It is the little symptoms you may have that aren't really a problem. They're a little problem. They're a little annoying. These things can be like the canary in the coal mine, right? And so most people do have some symptoms like that. And if we can get to the root of what's causing those, we can then prevent, other more significant issues from cropping up. And we're going to talk in particular about aging as well, because that is something we all do experience and nobody likes. Maybe some people do. So, even if you don't have a chronic health condition that you know of or that is diagnosed, using biohacking can help extend your health span. It can help keep you healthy. And that's what really excites me as a homeopath as well. And so we're going to talk about oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is the root of a lot of health problems in the body, whether you're talking about named conditions. You can go to PubMed, and I'm going to mention that again, but you can go to PubMed and Google oxidative stress and whatever disease condition you have. But we know it can also lead to so many other just being tired and fatigued and just little symptoms that, again, they're not necessarily study worthy, but they really do impact us. And it's just like oxidative stress. A simple way to think about it is like this apple that on the right, that apple core has turned brown. It's like rusting, kind of, This happens inside our bodies naturally when we're exposed to everyday life. And I'm an athlete. I love to do crazy endurance events and things like that. Most people are like, "What? You're crazy." I love that kind of stuff, but I always know that every time I go and do something like that, it's actually causing oxidative stress because you're breathing, you're using so much oxygen, and a byproduct of that is oxidative stress. And that's why athletes sometimes age faster, especially like ultra marathoners. And it's also probably a lot of sun exposure. But anyway, and stress is not all bad too. That's the other thing I want to mention. Not all stress is bad. You wouldn't want to eliminate every stress from your life. We're not saying quit your job and never eat anything that you don't grow yourself. Like, you do have to have some stress to adapt, but it's the too much stress that is bad. So when you see, the little cells on the screen, the free radicals attack the cell, and that causes oxidative stress. And then, so what kinds of things cause it besides the free radicals? So what causes the free radicals? Poor diet, some things we mentioned, smoking, medication, pollution, inactivity, kind of all things we mentioned before. Boom, alcohol, toxins, pesticides, too much exercise, like I said, and then Wi-Fi. And oxidative stress does affect so many systems of the body, like is listed there. Really everything, your immune system, every organ that you can think of. So let's talk about what we can do about it, shall we? I don't want to be Debbie Downer. So what is the solution to oxidative stress? Well, we're told to combat free radicals, you should eat antioxidants like blueberries and raspberries and celery juice and smoothies, and all those things are wonderful and amazing. But we would have to eat all those things all day long to even come close to combating the gazillion free radicals that we're exposed to on a daily basis. So what we're going to talk about is activating the body with Nrf2 to have your body produce its own antioxidants, which it should do, and it does do naturally, but that slows down over time. Okay, so Nrf2 activates a pathway in your body. It flips a switch in your body, so your body's going to do more of what it already is doing, should be doing, and produce antioxidants. The most well-known one is glutathione. So we'll go with that. And that's like using a fire hose to put out a fire instead of using Dixie cups. Eating blueberries is like throwing Dixie cups on the fire of oxidative stress in your body. Nrf2 is like the fire hose. So one of them is more efficient. So introducing Protandim Nrf2, and this slows down aging. This is it's addressing one of the three systems of aging, or theories of aging, I should say, in the body. It will reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and my picture's covering it up, but it has been proven in a study to extend the life of male mice by 7%, which is fantastic. I'm not a male mouse, but I still get really excited by that because It's another mammal. That's great. And we know that, like I said, the antioxidants are increased, and glutathione is actually the one on the screen that is mentioned here, increases glutathione by 300% in 30 days. So that's fantastic. Like I said, there's other antioxidants as well. By age 30, we start producing less glutathione and SOD, superoxide dismutase, just another antioxidant enzyme. You don't need to know that. There will not be a quiz. But by age 40, our production of those two antioxidant enzymes go down to 0. Whew, that's not good. So Protandim Nrf2 will boost that production for you. And it is a blend of 5 herbs. They're really hard to read on this screen here, but it is a blend of 5 herbs, many of which you may have taken separately. So we have turmeric, milk thistle, green tea extract, bacopa, and ashwagandha. So most people have taken or are taking some of those, but it's actually the synergy here that makes it work really well. And I'm not going to go into the synergy, but if you do want to learn more about that, type synergy in the comments and someone will reach out to you. So LifeVantage goes way back to before 2005 actually. It was a biotech company. And in 2005 is when ABC did a video, the investigative report. If you have not seen that, it's really, really awesome, and I highly recommend it. But what happened is John Quinones went on ABC to debunk the product. They did blood tests and everything, and the opposite ended up happening. They're like, wow, this actually does what you say it's supposed to do. So $5 million in orders came in overnight. My picture is covering up on the screen where the stock prices went from $1 to $20 because LifeVantage is a publicly traded company on the stock market. You can go buy stock right now, and I think that's really cool. And more importantly, researchers and institutions all over the country wanted to do their own independent studies on Protandim Nrf2. So I mentioned PubMed before. If you have never been there, definitely go. You can look up Protandim Nrf2 and you'll see 26 studies. I think it's actually a little bit more now, but for sure 26 peer-reviewed studies on Protandim Nrf2. If you actually just look at Nrf2, there's a ton of studies, and you can look up Nrf2 and diabetes or whatever you want. And then even more excitingly, because Nrf2 is a pathway that scientists study, but they also study oxidative stress in general, not necessarily the specific pathway. So that's another great thing to look up if you like to do research like that. Even just to see the amount that is studied out there is pretty remarkable. At the time of this slideshow being put together, there was 217,517 peer-reviewed studies on oxidative stress. That is pretty remarkable. Now, these are some of the peer-reviewed journals that have put out in studies on Protandim Nrf2, and yeah, it's awesome. And a lot of institutions, different colleges, and I took that slide out because it's a little repetitive, but it is really cool to see. So if you have any questions about that, definitely get with the person who invited you here as well. So we do have, so I mentioned the Nrf2 synergizer, and that's addresses the oxidative stress theory of aging. So after discovering Nrf2 and the amazing benefits that activating that pathway has, LifeVantage, we went on looking for more ways to boost our health. So we did find, I'm going to briefly mention the Nrf1 on the left, which is the Protandim Nrf1. This is for mitochondrial health. It's going to help restore and regenerate mitochondria to increase cellular energy. So that's another theory of aging, is the mitochondria theory of aging. And, if you're low on energy, that's something to take a look at for sure. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, we have our NAD synergizer, which targets sirtuins, which are known as the longevity proteins. We know that this NAD synergizer increases our sirtuin activity by 100% in 24 hours. Now, you may have heard about sirtuins if you have read any books on intermittent fasting. Now, I don't like to fast, I like to eat, and so I'm not interested in fasting to get benefits of increased sirtuins. I'm more interested in NAD. So this is one way to do that, and we happen to think it's the best. And you can get all three of these together as the tri-synergizer. So if you're looking for really the most bang for your buck, so to speak, I would definitely look into the tri-synergizer. Post tri-synergizer in comments if you would like more information on that. But I wanted to save time to talk about two more products. One of them I just absolutely love. This is the AXIO. This is a drink that you mix up. It comes as a powder, and you mix it up with water and ice. I love it with ice, but that's optional. You can make it however you want, but it is really, really great for brain health. So it is going to help improve your concentration, your mental endurance, your focus, your brain's resilience to stress, and improve your mood and your physical energy, mental energy, all around. Really, really great for physical and mental energy and feeling good, both in the short term and cumulatively over time. So there are some B vitamins in there, magnesium, it's got caffeine, or you can get the decaffeinated or the non-caffeinated, I guess. Pine bark, L-theanine, quercetin, which is really great for other staying healthy right now. Lots of people taking quercetin. And then DMAE, which is only in the caffeinated version, and that's another specific ingredient for brain health. So this is really great. And one thing I want to highlight is that there are some brain scans. If you want to see the scans, just type AXIO in the comments and we will reach out to you. But there are some brain scans here showing before and then after taking the Nrf2. I think it's actually the Nrf2, Nrf1, and AXIO, but we can get that video to you. And this is one thing, seeing these scans just made me super excited to try AXIO, because it's not normally my type of thing. I don't like that, flavored drinks all that much, but I do actually really, really love AXIO, so I'm so glad I saw that information. So let's talk about one more thing, one more product today, and this is something that's newer and really, really exciting. So we're going to talk about proactive immune support, not reactive recovery. So our immune system is like a three-legged stool, and you need all three legs functioning or you are going to fall over. Okay, so we have the barrier part of the immune system, which is like mucous membranes and gut and all that sort of stuff. The innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. Okay, so with our new product, we target key vitamins and nutrients to support all three of those things. And this is with the Daily Wellness. LifeVantage Daily Wellness is what it's called. And it's the only product on the market uniquely formulated with these 5 ingredients to, again, support all 3 parts of the immune system for a truly thriving immune system. So we call it 5 to Thrive. So let's talk a little bit about what's in it. There is some vitamin C in it. Now, vitamin C is an antioxidant, and you're like, wait a minute, you just said don't take those. There is still good reasons to eat your fruits and take a little bit of vitamin C. It does have, its own specific functions. And if you're extra stressed, vitamin C is super important as well to support that. It's going to have vitamin D3, which I think it's 90% of people are vitamin D3 deficient. And if you live above, somebody will know the right number, but I believe it's 30 degrees latitude, you are probably vitamin D deficient. I'm not good with statistics like that, but I know here in Montana, I definitely need vitamin D3 in the winter. There is zinc, which is great, especially with immune support right now. Elderberry is in here. The pictures don't match for some reason. Sorry about that. That's not an elderberry. That is a pumpkin seed, probably for the zinc slide. And here's the elderberry, but it also has fermented yeast extract, which is something that was new to me. So I'm really excited to learn about it. It's fantastic. So vitamin C, there is vitamin C in the Daily Wellness. It's great. It's just a little bit, 150 milligrams, not too much. Most people get some from their diet anyway. Vitamin D, like I said, it's the world's most common deficiency. Most people need vitamin D. There is elderberry. Now, if you are newer to elderberry, you may be kind of wondering what it does. Many people in this group, I think, are already very familiar with it and curious. You may or may not be taking it on a daily basis. Well, this is a small enough amount that in my opinion, it's okay to take on a daily basis. It's really smartly formulated. Elderberry has been used for centuries to support immunity, and it is a well-known thing that boosts the immune system. Now, you may have a specific reason for being worried, but you can just ask. Most people don't. If you do have that reason, you would know. And so we can chat with you about that. But it's really, really great because it's kind of like almost like a multivitamin in this sense. It's got lots of antioxidants in it. It's a really awesome ingredient. I'm so glad it's in there. Tastes delicious too. And then there's a little bit of zinc to help with the immune system. Zinc has kind of been all over the headlines lately, and it is something that is great for a lot of people. So definitely excited that is in there. Now, this is the real thing that shines, and I may have to read the bottom paragraph to you, but we call it the hero ingredient, right? This is a unique. There are other supplements that have fermented yeast extract, but this is unique in that it's in a powder form. Now, this is considered like a postbiotic, and there's no gluten in it. I believe there's not even yeast in it, but it is okay. There's no gluten in it for sure. I get that question. And it is, again, a postbiotic shown to support the immune system, and there are over a dozen clinical studies on this ingredient alone, which is really, really awesome. So it supports the gut microbiome. So again, it's, we all know of prebiotic, probiotic. Now we've got postbiotic to support that gut health. And the gut is super important because the majority of your immune system is in your gut. And that is why gut health has been all the rage. And so this is just like another way to target gut health. And here's some really cool benefits. Some of you are going to be really, really excited about these, some of these. So, of course, daily wellness improves the immune response, boosts your body's response to stress. If you have too much stress, you're going to have a lowered immune system. I think we all know that. Have you ever gone through finals week in college? Maybe if you're like me, you have to think back a little bit. If you go back through finals week and then you get sick the next week after, that's why. Too much stress, your immune system's lowered. Same thing for, stressful work, all that stuff. So the daily wellness is going to support your everyday health and well-being, your respiratory health, and your sinus health. Raise your hand if you have sinus issues, stuffiness, sinus infections, whatever you want to call it. So common. So how exciting is it that we have something that can support the health of your whole respiratory system and your sinuses? Again, supporting the balanced gut microbiome, and even helping with seasonal allergies, which of course goes along with sinus and respiratory a lot. So that is so exciting because I know that's a big issue for a lot of people. So you can get Daily Wellness by itself, or you can get the Activate Daily Wellness Stack, the Nrf2 and the Daily Wellness together for the best price. It's a powder drink mix. You want to take it daily. That's what it's designed for. It's great mixed with the AXIO, or if you're taking the prebiotic, which I didn't cover, but we do have a great prebiotic. It goes really, really well with the Daily Wellness. It's elderflower and flavored. And then there's also no known allergens, like I said, no gluten or anything like that. So that's awesome. So thank you for watching this tonight. If you have any questions, get back with the person who invited you to watch this or drop them in the comments below. If you know of anyone who wants to hear this information, please invite them to this group, and you can go ahead and tag them in this presentation. And there is a way you can earn your products for free, or even just get product credits if that's what you're looking for. So thank you again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.